The European Union is working on new guidelines to protect children online. Tomorrow marks the end of a month-long consultation period. Lawmakers say the online safety of children is a top priority. But as William Denselow reports from Brussels, stricter guidelines could also worsen tensions with Silicon Valley and the US administration.
It's a troubling trend. More than 300 million children a year are victims of online sexual extortion. Belgian foundation Child Focus says they've seen cases roughly triple since 2018.
We see definitely a huge increase in online interactions of children. We see also younger children being online, but also, at the same time, what we see is that offenders are able to misuse online spaces better in order to offend, and these spaces are not always under the monitoring of authorities.
Child Focus has a 24/7 call centre dedicated to the prevention and investigation of sexual or harmful contact online, as well as a tip line to report cases of suspicious activity or material. Tiana Popovic is a policy advisor for the organisation. She says more comprehensive guidelines are needed to adapt to an increasingly digital world.
We see that a lot of these platforms have actually been built with another public in mind, but we see that more children are using these spaces and that these spaces are not designed with children in mind and with their needs in mind.
But the European Commission has vowed to take action to address this. After consultations with stakeholders, a set of guidelines is set to be adopted under the Digital Services Act, or DSA. Proposals include age assurance measures, allowing children to block other users, and making minors' accounts private as a default setting. Senior policy advisor at European Digital Rights advocacy group Jan Penfrat says that while the new guidelines shouldn't infringe on people's rights, online platforms should address issues like screen addiction.
They need to make sure that all the functionality that their platforms have, all the incentives that they create are actually fit for purpose and are not actively harmful to children. And that is not the case today.
Meta has previously clashed with the Commission over allegations that their algorithms caused behavioural addictions in minors. The company says it's developed numerous tools to support parents and teens and has worked hard to adapt to EU regulations. The Trump administration has vowed to defend US tech firms from regulations like the DSA and Digital Markets Act. The European Commission has downplayed concerns about possible blowback from the US. Spokesperson Thomas Renier tells me they are fully focused to the effective enforcement of the DSA and DMA, and that companies wishing to do business in the EU must respect EU laws. Executive Director of the Five Rights Foundation, Leander Barrington-Leach, says the EU is the world's largest regulator, with the power to take on tech giants.
They command access to an enormous market, 500 million consumers, and now the message is very much, if you don't comply with these rules, you're not going to have access to this market.
Singapore, the UK and Malaysia are among the nations to have adopted online safety legislation in recent years. The EU will be the biggest regulator to do so, and Commission officials say these measures will help online platforms shape a safer online environment. William Denselow, CNA, Brussels.